the quality of African football has increased quite a bit, so much so that big teams, or other teams that were regarded quite superior when it came to football, like Ghana, finished last in their group and won't be in the next edition of the African Cup of Nations. Speaking of not being in the African Cup of Nations, Kenya is also another team that won't be featuring in the next edition. However, they will be in the 2027 African Cup of Nations because they will be co-hosting the tournament with Tanzania and Uganda. Kenya has participated in the African Cup of Nations 6 times, and this makes them the most experienced, or rather one of the most experienced East African teams in the competition. Last time around they were in this tournament was in 2019, but as we mentioned, they won't be in the next edition, but they will be in the 2027 edition. So welcome back to L4B, and yes, we'll be talking about Kenya versus Namibia. Unfortunately, both these teams cannot qualify for the tournament. Kenya has been kicked out following the draw with Zimbabwe, which is unfortunate because that was the time that Jonah Yunga scored his first goal for Kenya, and we drew 1-1, and it was pretty disappointing, so much so that some of the players have even hinted at retiring from international football, and we'll talk about Teddy Akumu. Yeah, but it is actually pretty disappointing. We won't be featuring in the next edition, but as we said earlier, we're going to be in the 2027 edition because we will be co-hosting the tournament with Tanzania and Uganda. But going back to the Kenya versus Namibia game, some good news is the fact that Richard Odando will be playing after coming out of his suspension, and so that's really good to help the midfield. Amos Nondi won't be featuring because he's also suspended for this game. Unfortunate stuff, but we move on. The other thing that we have to note is that both these teams have conceded 7 goals in the road to qualifications, and so it looks like it will be a game whereby we are guaranteed a goal, or rather, yeah, we are guaranteed goals. So I believe that Kenya is going to win this game, considering that Namibia, well, actually to note also is the fact that Namibia have the lowest points amongst all the teams that have tried to qualify for this tournament. They have 1 point before this game, and so yes, that's the lowest in all the groups actually. So I think that Kenya is going to win this game because we have a better attacking we're better attacking wise. And before we continue with this video, do make sure to subscribe to Kenya's biggest football channel. So when we're looking at the form when it comes to qualification for the African Cup of Nations, unless Kenya has drawn 2, lost 2, and won 1, whereas Namibia has lost 4 and drawn 1. So this is why we're tipping Kenya to win this next fixture. If we start again with Jonah Yunga and Olunga, I think we might have also a little bit more goals. I think Avire needs to come on a bit earlier if possible, and probably have Marcelo playing as the left back and going back to just a 4 at the back. So not too much to speak about when it comes to this fixture. However, we believe that Kenya has to finish strong, and so they will beat Namibia. According to us, they will beat Namibia, and it might be a comfortable one depending on how Engin Firat actually sets up and also the morale from the lads. Unfortunate stuff, but we might be talking about more of this. We'd also like to see whether Engin Firat will remain the Harambee Stars coach, and so we might have to look at some professional analysts and coaches to give us their insights when it comes to that, because it's been interesting. He's had a really long time to actually instill his philosophy with the squad and also just get good results. So we're gonna be following up on that, and so yeah, that's been it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Do make sure to check out our other social media platforms at L4B Love Football. Do like this video and remember to subscribe to Kenya's biggest football channel. For more on our Kenyan national football teams, do make sure to click the playlist. And as always, support Kenyan football. We out.